Is that it? Is that the title gone? It really does feel like a change of momentum, a shift in the tides. Arsenal were bested by 4-1 at the Etihad. Man City asserting their dominance, and that's really how I would describe this. It was Man City flexing their muscles and Arsenal unable to compete, wavering. They were just shocked by the way that Man City set up, but they couldn't play through them. Mikel Arteta was outfought. And Arsenal just crumbled. And crumble is exactly what they did after about 60 minutes, or up until the 60-minute point when they started to get some kind of control in the game. But by that point, it was 3-0, and Man City had done their business. Before we get into any more of it, I'd just like to say that if you enjoy this, please like the video and subscribe. It really would mean a lot to me. Now, let's go into it in a little bit more detail, because there is a lot more to talk about. Pep Guardiola and the way that he set up this team was completely different from the way they would normally play this match. They set up with a back four. That much was normal. We expected John Stones to come into midfield, but that's not what happened. Instead, they set up with a 4-2-3-1, and they did this because of the respect that I think Pep Guardiola was showing Mikel Arteta and the way that this Arsenal side play. If we think about how Arsenal set up, we think about Zinchenko coming inside, we think about Odegaard pulling the strings, switching play to Martinelli or playing through to Bukayo Saka. So what did Pep Guardiola need to do? What he needed to do was flood the middle of the pitch to stop Arsenal from really playing through teams. And the way he did that was he set up a double pivot of Ilkay Gundogan and Rodri. This allowed Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish to do their defensive duties on the wings, and then allow Kyle Walker to win his duel against Martinelli, allow Akanji to win his duel against Saka or Ben White, depending on who came forwards. And what ended up happening was that Arsenal hit a brick wall, and they didn't have enough real creation or movement in their side to be able to best it. Mikel Arteta must have looked at this system and thought that he could try and find a way around it, but that was not the case. They just couldn't play through, they couldn't play around, and really, at the end of the day, their individual duels were lost, as we can see here. Rob Holding had a torrid time, only winning 2 out of his 5 ground duels, not winning enough aerial duels, and the same was said for the likes of Gabriel Magalhaes and the likes of Ben White. We're going to have a look at Ben White in just a second, because that one was the worst of the lot. Benjamin, 1 duel, 1 out of 7. Yes, he won an aerial duel, but really he had a torrid time out at right back. The entire Arsenal side had a torrid time, and that was down to Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne, who had absolutely fantastic games. Erling Haaland obviously with 2 assists, and then he also won 4 out of 5 ground duels, 3 out of 4 aerial duels, winning that aerial duel against Rob Holding for the first goal. And then you have Kevin De Bruyne driving forwards against Gabriel, turning him left, turning him right, and then slotting the ball home into that bottom right hand corner. Kevin De Bruyne was absolutely fantastic. 2 goals, 1 assist. That cross for John Stones was fantastic. And then obviously Erling Haaland got his goal at the very end of the game. It was a defensive masterclass by Manchester City. We can have a look at the average positions now, because I think it really needs to be shown. We have the back four here, and they didn't get told to go forwards, at least not too much. They were able to engage on Arsenal's wingers, but that was about it. Here is the midfield pivot that Arsenal failed to really play through of Rodri and Gundogan, and that meant that Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish were able to occupy their wing areas, but then drop into midfield whenever Arsenal really had the ball, making it difficult to go through this block of players. And then it was left up to Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland, arguably 2 of the best attackers in world football right now, linking up, playing together, and really making those driving direct runs through that Arsenal midfield and that Arsenal back line. Contrast this to the way that Arsenal were playing, and really you can see a lack of cohesion. Here is the back four, and then at the same time you have the likes of Gabriel Martinelli cutting inside. You have the likes of Gabriel Jesus dropping back a little bit too deep. Martin Odegaard is probably in the position that you would want him to be, but Bukayo Saka is extremely isolated. And again, if we go back to this Man City lineup, you can see that really there's a lot of balance to the side, there's a lot of cohesion. We go through the side, that's fine. Bernardo Silva goes forward a little bit more because he's engaging in the press. You have the press coming from Haaland and De Bruyne as well. Really just a well-organised, well-utilised outfit that is defensively sound, but also carries so much threat the other way. A fantastic tactical setup by Pep Guardiola, and really he did a number on Mikel Arteta, whose Arsenal failed to get into the game pretty much at any point. Finally, let's have a look at some of the statistics. We can see that Arsenal failed to really convert or create a lot of chances. Their expected goals only at 0.48, Man City's at 2. Ball possession was obviously higher at the Etihad, perhaps not as high as you would expect, although Arsenal do like to dictate the game as much as they try to. They failed to do it in this game, but they do like a lot of the ball, and it's really when you get down to these stats that it becomes a little bit tough reading for Arsenal and their fans. 2 shots on target only for the Gunners, and then you can also see that they failed to win a lot of their duels as well. They failed on duels, they failed on aerials one, even though it was close, and really Arsenal were bested at every single point. They were second best to everything. Man City now sit second in the table still, but with 2 games in hand and only 2 points behind the league leaders. Have Arsenal given it up? Have they failed at the final hurdle? Has this final challenge been too much? Has David failed to best Goliath? It really would seem so. Pep Guardiola establishing that he is the greatest manager in the world still, and Mikel Arteta has more to learn. So does this Arsenal side, who were bested by 4-1. Is the title done? Is it all over? Let me know your thoughts. That's it for today, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave the video with a like and subscribe if you haven't for more content like this coming very soon. Make sure you hit that notification bell as well. You don't want to miss what's coming up in the near future. And like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on Man City against Arsenal. Have Arsenal thrown it away? Is it Man City's title to lose? Have they already won it in your opinion? Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. But like I said, that's it from me for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, my friends, take care of yourselves and bye-bye.